Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday, September 8th of 2021, and welcome back to Entrepreneur Meal Plan Review. Oh, yeah. Did you know that's what EMP stood for, y'all? Come on now. Now, I'm your host, Chauncey, here, and helping me out always, really doing all the hard work, is Chef Brandy. Hey, Chef, how are you?
I'm well, Charles. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm in my jacket that's like a straight jacket. I'm feeling, protected. You have
Happy to hear
monkeys
that.
hanging off of you.
Yeah.
This is a great day.
Yeah, we're getting wild and we're also pulling it in.
I didn't see that. What's getting wild again? Show that to.
We're getting
Oh,
wild.
okay. Oh, okay. Now, everybody, if you're here with us live as usual, talk to us via the comments. Check out what our wonderful off-cam support, our off-cam expert, MP Drea, has to say. Ooh. Thanking all of us for joining. And now let's talk our talk, Brandy. EMP, Entrepreneur Meal Plan. Tell them the benefits. What's the point of this stuff?
All right. So Entrepreneur Meal Plan is a community for entrepreneurs who want food for their mind, bodies, and business. We use plants to power your productivity and profits by empowering you with recipes, shopping lists, meal plans, cooking demos, cool events, useful resources, and a community of like-minded people who want to make sure that they are healthy at the end of their wealth-building journey. And so Entrepreneur Meal Plan offers all of that for a monthly investment of $30.23.
Wow. Per month.
Monthly investment, yes.
Yeah, I want to really land on that. Per month.
Monthly.
It's going to be per week soon. I'm just trying to tell these people.
Evolution. It's a thing.
It's a thing. So that's well done. Excellent. And they do say that health is wealth.
Chef. They do. Yes.
Remember that from years ago?
I do.
Some of these young people may not know that one, but that's okay.
Yeah. Like reading is fundamental. That's all it's talking about.
Don't do it. Don't start doing that. Now, what we do want to start doing, though, as our topic, my favorite topic so far we've had is we love potatoes. That's so true. It's so the misunderstood humble spud. How dare all of you people blame it? How dare you? I'm a one-man potato lobby. No.
Now let's wait for Chauncey to get off his soapbox.
You know that literally there were soapboxes that people stood on.
Oh yeah.
Out on the street, and that's where it came from. So literally,
Yeah.
said it like a young Al Sharpton. Now, with that said, Al Sharpton, by the way, is plant-based. Hopefully, he knows that it's all about the potatoes. And Brandy, you're going to show us another recipe here: pretzel bites. Now, wait a minute. How is that? How are potatoes worked into that? Pretzel bites with warm queso dip. So I'm interested to see how this is going to work out, where you're going to sneak in the humble spud.
Mm-hmm.
So you go ahead and get set up, and we'll wait with bated breath. See you on the flip side, Chef.
Sounds good. All right, so potatoes. What is this that we have in front of us? We have a dough. This is a pre-made dough, a pizza dough, so to say. So I'm like, today we're gonna make some cheese sauce. That's what's on our list for today. How do we make a sauce with cheese? And give me a second, because I think I may have killed this camera in error. So just give me 1 second to reintroduce it. All right, so now we're back. I was gonna, just kind of do a cheese sauce, dip potatoes dipped in cheese sauce. And I'm like, you know what? No. Let's think of another cool way to feature this potato cheese sauce. So I decided to show us how to make a queso like dip, right? With the potato as the cheese sauce. I'll show you how to build a queso and also how we can use some pre made pizza dough to make pretzels. So this literally is just some pizza dough that I took out of a pack. I got this from Aldi's last night for, I don't know, I think it was maybe like $2. They sell this pre-made pizza dough everywhere. They sell it in most of the freezer sections in your grocery stores. You can definitely get it at Whole Foods. Whole Foods has a plain version and a wheat version. I believe Trader Joe's sells it as well. I don't know if they have both, but most places have just a pizza dough. If it's frozen, you're gonna have to wait for it to thaw out before you can actually do this, and you want to prep it maybe the night before or earlier in the day. Let it thaw out in the refrigerator so that it's a nice room temperature pliable dough. So you literally take this. Now, I sprinkled some flour on the board, some whole wheat flour that I had available. Use any flour. I just wanted to stick to the board. And how do we make these pretzels? We literally cut this dough, right? We cut it. I'm going to do a couple of strips. Got it, right? We take it and we roll it. Roll them into these little strips. Really, really simple. And these are pretzel bites that we're doing. Now, if you were going to actually do a pretzel, you could use the same technique and tie it into that classic pretzel nut. I will even show you how to do that with this dough if you're not into bites. The bites are just really fun. They're a great vehicle for this sauce that we're making. So bam, literally take them and you roll them. And now the key to pretzels is the baking soda bath. The baking soda bath is that beautiful substance that gets us that crunchy outside and that soft inside. Pretzels aren't the only bread that we use it for. It's also used for bagels, right? So literally, we have this solution of baking soda and water. These are going to go in. I'm going to show you what they look like when they come out. Now, while that's getting prepped, what I'm going to do is show you how to make a queso. Now, if you don't know what queso is literally just a combination of cheese, sauce, and pico de gallo. So what we're going to do now is make some pico de gallo as we get ready to make this cheese sauce. So I'm going to take our good friend, the tomato, and just core it out. This is what they're coring it. Take out that little piece. We don't want to be wasteful. And then we're going to slice. We're going to do another slice. We're going to get rid of the seeds, right? That's the key of a pico. Like, pico is not wet. So salsa, you keep the seeds in because you're looking for something that's a little more juicy and free, whereas pico is a little more buttoned up, right? So we take out the core. Now we don't waste these cores. Now we throw that little top piece in the trash. But those cores can be used in a dressing. They could be used in a marinade for any type of vegetable dish. They could be put into grains, like if you're making rice or if you're making pasta and you just want a little extra note of something. You can put those in there to add some flavor. We don't want to waste anything. So yet again, what we do here, we like to use our lines, break this up. And pico is really all about getting just small little dices of these simple ingredients: tomato, onion, jalapeno, and our good friend cilantro. If you are not one of the people who cilantro does not really register good on your palate, in that case, I would recommend you just I'll be replacing it with a little bit of parsley. It's not exactly the same, but it's close enough. Or you could honestly just kill it. Just kill it. So we have good old tomatoes. This is a small little jalapeno. Gonna cut it. Now, I personally like my queso spicy, so I am going to keep half of these seeds in, take half of them out. I don't know how hot this is, but I'm gonna start with just half of the seeds. And the reason you get rid of the seeds is because the seeds is really where all of the heat is. So if you don't want to burn your mouth out in the process, what you want to do is kill those seeds. If you're not sure exactly how much heat you want, take the seeds all the way out, test it, and then if you really want to add some extra heat back in, you can just drop those seeds into the dish. So just simple small dices of jalapeno to get this nice fresh sauce. Now, there are grocery stores that totally sell pico already made. But if you just happen to be sitting in a house one day and just with itching for some good old queso, and you have an onion, a tomato, a jalapeno, and a cilantro, now you're gonna know how to whip this up yourself. So just onion. Now there's only half of an onion today because the other half of this onion went into the cheese sauce that we are going to be using as the base of our queso. I don't know if you guys heard, but Chipotle introduced a queso to their menu. I don't remember what year that was, but whatever year that was, it was people just took it through the streets. It was, I heard it was probably some of the worst stuff they ever tasted. I don't know if anybody tried it. If you were plant based, or if you just were just interested in trying a queso, but I heard it was absolutely horrible. I think they took it off the menu or they reworked their recipe. And I think the challenge with that was that Cadoba had always had a queso on their menu from inception. It was absolutely delicious. And so when you are trying to come to market with something new, it's kind of important that you're at least as good as the current person in the space. So yeah, just a little fun queso fact. And good friend cilantro, the leaves and also the stems. A lot of times we don't use the stems. You see people picking the leaves off. And in some cases, that's cool. But in the case of pico, you really want to get as much of that flavor into this bite. It's a really fun, relaxing process. So we got all these ingredients together, and what we're going to do is put them into this bowl that has some what do you call it? Some stray flax seeds in it from earlier today. I put sandwich bread in this bowl and some flax seeds fell into it. All right, so we're going to take it, drop that here, drop it in. You got these simple, pretty colors. Got these all together. And this is going to be our stir into our queso. Also going to get a little bit of lime juice going in here, because we definitely want to get some acid to just really brighten up and bring all of these flavors together. Just roll and squeeze. Roll and squeeze. Now, normally, you may see like salt or pepper added to this, but I'm going to hold off. First off, lime juice, if you didn't know, activates the salt part of your tongue. So you really don't need to add much salt. And also, with the potato cheese, there's already a salty note in it, so I don't want to add anything to it before we mix everything together. So we're just going to let this sit aside and marinate for just a little bit, right? So in the background, what we were doing, we were boiling our tomatoes and not tomatoes, our potatoes and carrots, right? But we were also getting this good old bath, this baking soda bath together. So I'm going to just drop these in so you guys see what these look like before they go into the oven. Literally just drop these in, and I'll come back to those in a second. But for now, what we're going to do is get this cheese sauce going. So what is in this potato cheese sauce? What is in this potato cheese sauce, and how does it actually work? Well, it's the good old potato starch. The potato starch is what makes this possible. What makes this experience possible? There is starch in potatoes. There actually are gluten-free recipes that will tell you that you can use potato starch instead of eggs to bind a dish together, like a cake or something like that. The carrots are going in for that little note of sweetness that we're after whenever we have cheese, and also for the coloration that we look for in cheese. Yellow. Queso has a yellow note. When you mix that orange rather, with the potato, you're going to end up with a yellow color. Now, I like to throw an onion. I just feel like that note of onion just really helps to add some depth to this faux cheese sauce that we are creating today. So literally potatoes, carrots, half of an onion, and then our good friend, the magic of cheese in the plant-based world, nutritional yeast. I'm gonna get some of that in there because that gives us our good cheesy note, our good cheesy layer of flavor. I'm also gonna put some garlic powder in here and some onion powder as well. Onion powder also helps me. I know I have a real onion in there, but something about that dried onion that just takes us to another level. So I'm about to make a little bit of noise, so hang tight. All right, guys, and we got some good old cheese sauce. Yes, potatoes, carrots, onions produce this, and I'm gonna show you how cool this is. And even with the, like, you get the gooey cheesiness from it as you see. Like, it is the potato starch that creates this. I literally found out about this. Thought I was being lazy one day, attempted to make mashed potatoes in my food processor because I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know what I was making. I was making something, the food processor was down. Mashed potatoes was going to be a part of the dish. I go, I was going to throw my potatoes in here and it's going to be totally fine. I'm not going to have to mash them with the masher, and they turned out super gummy. It was absolutely disgusting. And then I did a little bit of research because I'm like, why would that happen? When you blend potatoes, you activate that potato starch that's in it that doesn't get activated when you mash potatoes. So if you're ever thinking about cutting some corners while you're making your mashed potatoes and stirring them instead of putting them in a food processor instead of mashing them, don't do it. You're going to end up with this gooey, goppy potato, which is not fun. But it works really good as a cheese sauce. This activating the starch makes this cheese sauce really, really yummy. So you add this in. Queso is literally just a mix of cheese sauce and pico de gallo. So we got ourselves a nice little queso going here. Ingredients mixed together lovely. It's still warm because the potatoes and the carrots came right out of the hot water. And also, I did pour in about a fourth cup of water with the ingredients just to help them to come together a little more. And I'm going to show you what the pretzels look like when they come out of the bath. You see how they expanded a little bit after they were in the bath, and we had some cooking up in the oven beforehand. So just let me clean off the surface so that we can see this all come together. Oh, and those, you would take those out of the water, by the way. You would take these out of the water and put them on a cookie sheet, parchment paper, in the oven on 450 for, I would say, about 20 minutes, depending on your oven, but until they get like a nice golden brown. So let me just show you our little pretzel bite snack. I didn't finish them with any salt, but if you wanted to, you could. But they come out nice. Generally speaking, you would use an egg white wash to kind of brown it, but I just brushed on a little bit of almond milk to get that color. And this was literally some pizza dough rolled out that took a bath in some baking soda and boiling water, and then put into the oven. And we have a nice little yummy snack from our good friend, the humble potato. So I'm gonna head back over and answer some questions, and I will see you shortly.
Right. So once again, we have another winner. Here's what Drea has to say about it. That looks hearty and delicious.
Thank you.
Now, hearty. Brandy, my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. White, how are you, Mrs. White, used to say, I eat hearty. So anytime I see that word,
I eat hearty. That's hilarious.
I eat hearty. Her family ate hearty. Hearty, not heartily.
Hearty.
Now, Drea is starting us off with a question. What could you substitute for the potato to create queso? Nothing. How dare you? I'm getting rid of this.
You know what? It's funny. I actually have a random substitution that may work. Tapioca starch and water. And I think the reason why is because you still get that starchiness that you get from the potato starch. And yeah, maybe tapioca starch with water is probably the only thing I can see.
Sounds so appetizing. Tapioca starch and water. Ooh.
You still gotta build the flavor. You gotta put the carrot in.
Could you do a sweet potato?
You could do a sweet potato. You could also do a butternut squash. Now that we think about it, you could do a butternut squash too.
Now we're working on it. See that, Drea? I saved it for you. Drea's. Look,
well, no, not by itself. No one said just eat spoonfuls of tapioca starch and water. You gotta build the flavor into it.
Yeah, but yes, exactly. Drea's on it. Sweet potato would be interesting. It would. That would be. Plus, you would get some more of that color like you got from the carrot there. Yeah. But there we go. Final word on it.
I'm gonna make tapioca starch cheese one day. You ain't even want to know.
See, you are dangerous. Now, if you're here with us live, keep chiming in the comments with any questions. My question to you, Brandy, the first one is, what ingredients do you want to look for in pre-made pizza dough?
Just yeast, flour, water, and salt. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you put the queso sauce on pasta on a sandwich?
You could make a grilled cheese with that queso sauce. You could put it on pasta.
Now wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. How would you make that grilled cheese though? Because it's not like it's not as cheesy as that. It's a sauce.
Hmm.
So how would you do that so it's not a mess?
So the funny thing is that you would add a little bit more. You would add some type of starch, right? So I would probably put like a
Tapioca
cornstarch
starch.
potentially. I think cornstarch is a little more accessible. Probably
So
like.
wait a minute. No, this is good.
Mhm.
So before you said replace it with tapioca starch and water, but no, could you do that with cornstarch as well? Could
That's
that replace the tapioca?
potentially the thing about cornstarch is that cornstarch doesn't tend to. It gives like this kind of glossy, gloppy finish, which is a little different than what you get from potato and tapioca starch. So that's the only reason that I wouldn't recommend it. But I would. It'd be worth a try. I mean, I've replaced egg and waffle recipes with cornstarch before successfully. So maybe,
Maybe.
maybe.
Hmm.
But in this case of using it to thicken the sauce, if you want it to be more for like a grilled cheese, if you want to use it immediately, you can thicken it with cornstarch. If you wrote this right now into a little loaf pan or something, a bowl, and put it into the refrigerator, it'll solidify. You can slice it and put it on a piece of bread,
Oh.
and then it would remelt once you.
So at room temperature or in the refrigerator?
In the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how long?
I've only ever experienced it overnight. Like I don't know. I've always like made it and then come back to it in the next day. But I'm sure once it just cools down, it'll probably be ready to go.
Interesting. Interesting. So weird. We have a question. Are we joking about potatoes?
In what way?
So that's what I had to say. So let us know what you mean by that question, and we'll come back to it. But Andrea is saying, no, we aren't joking. No, sorry, wrong one. No, we aren't joking. But yeah, just let us know what you meant by that question. We'll come back to it. Here's another question, Brandy. Could you replace the pico with your favorite store-bought salsa?
Absolutely. You could.
Any of them?
Any of them that you like. I mean, I personally would go with something spicy. I like queso to have a little bit of a kick to it, so that would be my preference.
Yeah, yeah. Because even now, it would be interesting, like a corn salsa, what would happen?
Oh.
Corn and black bean, and very interesting things could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, a good friend is saying potatoes are so easy to eat. Yeah, sure. Let me tell you something about that, though. Let me tell you. Once they are cooked, because I'm sorry, Brandy wants to show this beautiful thing. They're already cleaned and all, and peeled and soft. No. Now they do sell potatoes that you can microwave in a bag.
They do. But even if you don't get the microwave potatoes in a bag, potatoes are not that hard to make. And like the person who just
it takes too long. Excuse you. It takes too long. No.
If you bake a potato or if you boil a potato, it is
how long is it going to be in the oven?
It's so passive. You just throw it in the oven and go do something else.
Passive, but I'm hungry. I don't have time to wait forever to get that thing cooked.
Eat some oatmeal in the meantime. That's fast. You get that oatmeal in you while you wait for the potatoes to cook. Or you batch cook the potatoes and then you just pick from them after they're done.
Batch cook. I love how people say that. Like that makes a difference. It doesn't. No. Oh my goodness. That's a whole day you got to batch cook. You
but
can't
it's one day. That's it for the whole week.
I get my potatoes in that plastic bag. 6 minutes. Now I go to 8 minutes because I like them a little softer. 8 minutes. No peeling. No cleaning.
Listen, the potatoes, they're so passive. You want to have a potato, you soak it in some water. Let all that dirt loosen up. You take a little cloth, you wash it off, you throw it in the oven. And then you come back to it when it's done. And if you want to get fancy, you boil it and make a cheese sauce. That's pretty much what you do.
Now, what do you think about potato milk? Just going off topic a bit. It might be coming to us sometime soon here in the States.
Oh. And I love potatoes, but the evolution of the potato milk, I'm not really I'm not interested in attempting to try it.
What's wrong with it?
It just sounds disgusting. That's number one. I love potatoes, and I think about the idea of like potato in milk form, and nothing about that sounds good. I also think about at least the one that's on the market now that has a bunch of unnecessary oil in it, which always kind of sucks when it comes to non-dairy milks. So that's one of the things. And when I think about a potato, I just don't want to think about milk.
Oh, hey, y'all have oat milk, whatever else going. I mean, now, and it's a similar process if you want to make your own. You'd boil the potato and, you'd strain it after you blend it, all that other stuff. I just think that's a lot of work to make your own.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah.
oat milk is so easy. It's the easiest of the ones. I feel like if you're gonna make your own milk, I'm gonna put my money on oat milk. It's easy
Yeah.
and it's
Some
creamy.
people have rice milk
Rice. I think
as
rice milk
well.
is the skim milk of plant based milk. It's thin and it's bland. I mean, so if that's your thing, go crazy. But I'm not a fan.
Oh, yes. Thank you for that. Yeah. It's thin and it's bland, but if you enjoy it, well, you put some nutritional yeast in there, of course, but how much goes in that
Uh,
queso?
yeah, I would say I did 2 cups of potato, 1 cup of carrot, and that's like chopped and then put into the thing. And then queso, I would do at least um, 3 to 4 tablespoons, and then kind of
Yeah.
gauge it for yourself.
Okay. Excellent. So if you have any last minute questions, everyone type the questions in. I have my final question. What is the science behind soaking the dough in heated water before you put it in the oven? Explain it.
It's the baking soda. It's the hot water with the baking soda, and the baking soda creates this crust kind of around the dough that when you put it into the oven to bake, it it ends up browning up and having like a crispiness. I don't know how else to say it, but it is the baking soda that does that. Just boiling water on itself won't produce the same outcome. You got to put the baking soda in it.
Fascinating. All right. So there we go with that. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching, everybody. We will be back next Wednesday, September 15th, again at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, continuing with yes, we do love potatoes. So, Brandy, tell us again that little recap of benefits, and then we're out.
Yeah, so entrepreneur meal plan. First off, thank you guys for joining us for this edition of EMP Review. Entrepreneur Meal Plan is all about helping entrepreneurs find simple ways to feed their mind, body, and business. We do that by helping you use plant power foods to power your productivity and your profits. We give you recipes, shopping lists, meal plans, access to courses and events and resources that help you to make sure that you are healthy as you build your business. And we do this for a monthly investment of $30.23.
Excellent. So, we'll see you next week. You have your marching orders with EMP. And thank you for joining us again, everybody. Until next week, do life and business well. Thanks, Chef.
Thank you.